Alright, hi guys. As you've probably seen from the thumbnail or the description, I've bought myself some new axles for a 10.3 crawler, and as you know, this is a scx10ii, so I'm pretty much going to be turning this into a 2.5 because I've also bought a new low center of gravity high-speed transmission. This is from AliExpress and these are from eBay. My mate actually has these axles underneath his crawler at the moment, and he hasn't had an issue with them apart from snapping one output shaft on the rear axle, which I don't know if that was just a coincidence or bad manufacturing, but I'm hoping this will be fine. But if we take a look underneath the car, at the moment I am running a 550 kg motor that is a 21 turn. So the reason why I bought the high-speed transmission is to accommodate for the extra ratio in the portal hub, and because my portal hubs don't have that. So if I just put the axles on my crawler with this transmission, it would go extremely slow. So I bought a transmission. So without further ado, I guess I'll get into bolting all these on, see how we go. Now that I've taken the axles off the car, that upper link on the front took a bit of struggling and I've sort of deformed it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's time to unpack the new ones. I have already unpacked these, but I've got to make it look like I'm unpacking them. And for the moment, I'm actually going to take off all the hubs and everything and re-grease them before I actually put them in the car to make sure that everything's good to go. I know I didn't re-grease the hubs just then, but the grease in it actually looked fine. It stunk like a car diff oil, but it was still good enough, so I'm going to actually leave it for the moment. I only did the diff because I had it apart. And now I suppose I should move on to the transmission and have a good look at that. Guys, I've run into a bit of a problem. If you have a look, the motor actually doesn't sit flat on the housing. There's a little lump there on the aluminium that doesn't allow it to sit flat, which is crap. And if you have a look underneath here at the mesh, the pinion is way off the gear and I can't adjust it any further. When you pull the gears out, the holes don't let it go far enough because the bushing hits the circle piece that they've notched out so that the motor will fit, and I can't get it to line up. So I don't know what to do. You can't use this motor apparently. It just doesn't let it slide far enough. I'm gonna go sort that out. Yeah, I just spent a while with this transmission trying to figure out how I can use it, but I can't. I figured out that when you bolt it into the skid plate, the motor comes out the wrong side. It comes out backwards instead of the original transmission. coming out forwards. So that when I had to actually, when I was putting it together, to get this brushed motor to fit and mesh up with the gears, I had to 3D print and just cut up and mangle this little bit of a mount that bolted on the front of the front of the motor to then space out the bushing carrier so that it allowed it to slide completely up the transmission. And then I put it in the car and found out that when I bolted it all up and put it together, that my body doesn't actually fit on. The back of the motor, when it sticks out the back, hits on the body. So with this transmission, I can't run my body. And and I also found out that there's an excessive amount of play in the shaft because the machining is slightly undersized for this output shaft, and it wiggles on the bearings. And not to mention that little lump there in the transmission lets you not be able to mount any motor to the front there because it sits up on that and has the tooth on an angle, so it's just going to accelerate wear on the center gear and destroy everything. So I recommend not buying this transmission for an scx10ii, even though the listing says it's for an scx10ii. Everything about it just means it's not about it. It does not work. Just so you know, this is the listing. It's from Fascisni official store, yeah, whatever. Low center of gravity gearbox middle transmission with motor gear for 110 RC crawler SCX1, 2 and 3, and it's an upgrade part. Yeah, don't buy it. It just doesn't work. Anyway, enough stuff around with that transmission. I'm just gonna put the original one back in for the moment, but I'm going to put a slightly bigger pinion on if I need it, because I am running a 21 turn now and the original was a 35. But if I need it, I'm gonna just take the pinion out of my Super Hornet because it's like 4 teeth bigger, and that's the only other bigger size I have. But for the moment, I'm just gonna put the axles underneath it and use this transmission, and hopefully it works good. That's gonna do me for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm happy because I got both the axles in and it's functioning. We'll just have to see how the transmission goes, keeping up the wheels to make sure I got enough wheel speed. But it should be fine. I'll deal with it. And in the morning I'll just put the wheels on and plug it in and give it a test. But till then, goodbye. Alright, it's a new day. I've just had a little bit of a play with this plugged in, and everything seems to work pretty good actually. So I adjusted up all the trims so that it's pretty much straight and goes halfway either way. So it steers pretty good. It was hitting on my little bolt for the panhard bar, but it's all good now. It was just hitting that bolt just there. Yeah, it's all good. It doesn't spin too fast. Not too quick, but hopefully it's got enough low down control. It's fun. Yeah, all good. So I suppose I'll just smack the wheels on and go for a quick drive, I guess. So I've just come outside for a quick test. This is actually a couple days later because I was a bit busy over the last weekend and a few days. But yeah, I've just come outside to test the new axles and they go pretty good actually.